Welcome to another episode of In the Nude. Today I want to talk about the journey of doing the unthinkable, releasing. The hardest thing that I have at all had to learn how to do in my entire healing is switching from the default that I have had of doing to being. What does that mean? All of my life, it's been action, right? It has been the things that tangibly get done, the to-do lists, it's the actual actions, right? My life was made up of these actions, whether it was chores and schoolwork or jobs or whatever, cleaning the house, There's this like task orientation. I was explaining to a kid how adults lose their imagination, right? Like as a kid, most of us had really great imaginations, and how adults lose the imagination that helps us, right? We still have imagination. Like, I don't know if you ever saw the connection, but like if you worry, that's imagination, just self-attacking. So you still have a great imagination only when it's denigrating towards you, okay? But it's the process, I was explaining to the kid that it's the process of, we switch from, a lot of our life has these free times where we get to play, we get to like think, and we get to be, and we get to like discover how life is, to it slowly but surely moves for less and less of your time is allowed to just be being. What do I want to do? What do I feel like doing? And it becomes this list, right? This continuous do list. And there doesn't feel like there's space and means for like imagination. And then when imagination does surface, because it has to be used, it comes out often as denigration, which makes us like reject even the idea of imagination in a lot of ways, unless we see it separately, see it in a different light. Like creativity, we don't often think of as imagination, but the two are also linked, right? But it is this pattern we get into of doing. As a recovering perfectionist and workaholic, doing is my jam. I love it. I love to do. I'm a great doer, right? I am the person who will figure out the most productive, most effective way to get as many to-dos done, right? So me switching from my existence being a do to a be, actively like acid in the veins, like antithesis to everything I learned how to cope and be. My coping mechanism was perfection, and my coping mechanism was doing, was productive, was like grasping for the value I never was given elsewhere. Because in society, if you're productive, you can get somebody validating your worth in some kind of capacity, especially in a work environment. Whew, I liked it. I liked feeling worthy. And so I felt like I had to do, but this journey of trying to heal and trying to have a life that you like, it means we've got to sometimes do things that are super uncomfortable for us, like learning how to be again. And it's not fun. It's all kinds of twitchy and uncomfortable for me. But that journey of releasing, and I like the word releasing because you can visualize it happening over time, right? Versus like, okay, like if you're on a cliff, you've got this moment of you're on the cliff, and then you get this moment of I'm jumping off of it or walking off of it to like fall into the water below, right? And there's not like this transition. It's like one then the other. It's like more like light switch. You gotta make the choice, and it's then once you take the weight off of the edge of the cliff, you're just falling and it's done, right? Releasing, letting go, and learning how to like switch from do to be isn't a light switch. At times I would love that, because I'm like, extremist is like way easier for me than balance. But what it looks like day to day is a lot more like releasing, right? It's maybe instead of having a white knuckle grip on something, you just loosen it a little bit that day. Or maybe you can kind of set it down yesterday, but you can't today. Like it's this like chaotic process that is like, it's kind of like when you forgive somebody, right? Most of the time it's not like a one-off. You're gonna have it come back up where you're like bitter or frustrated because they hurt you, and it's fair that you have those feelings, but you have to like go back and be like, okay, do I want to sit in this, or did they say sorry and have they changed their actions, and am I gonna like release it again, right? In that same way, that's how I see how it's been for me learning from do to be. It's this unthinkable, extremely challenging process. Things that I have found helpful in me learning how to be. One, I have to be willing to play mind games with myself. Think through things in my brain and know that they aren't going to feel like they're real, right? What I like to say is like you can mentally understand something, but you don't metabolically like engage with it. Kind of like, I know how up here in my brain space. I know how to mole. I know how to bowl. I know what you're supposed to do. I know what, like the entire movement. I've been walked through it. I've been talked through it. I've been shown it. I mentally know how to bowl. I cannot bowl. I cannot, I have not gone from brain to metabolic. Why? I don't care to. Despite having gone many times for other people, I don't care to. It's not a process I enjoy. Love it if you do. This is just an example. No hate on bowling. It's not, I can quintessentially tell you why. There was a traumatic moment and it's not worth it for me. It's an expensive hobby that usually smells. Anyway, we're pushing that aside. Point of this is I understand how to do it here, but I don't metabolically know how to do it here in my body, right? In the same way that you can know how to do something from reading how to do it in a book, but that doesn't mean you know how to do it because you haven't done it, right? So I play mind games with myself, right? Part of the learning to be is mentally choosing that your value isn't associated with your productivity, that your value isn't associated with what you offer to other people, what you bring to the table. Part of your worthiness and willingness to be is letting go of the ways you coped for and vied for worthiness in the past, right? And redirecting to a different, like, true north. I am worthy because I am, right? That's a mind game for me because depending on the day, I will believe that metabolically, and other days I'm tagging, I'm putting a post-it on my forehead. I'm putting it on the window in front of me so I continuously see it, right? Like that, they're depending on the day. Mind games are something I have to do with myself. Some days I can believe it and it can be a part of my person. And other days I don't, but I'm choosing that affirmation, as it were, and like I'm choosing to act out life like it's true, right? So you may have to play mind games on yourself. You may have to choose what your true north is, metaphorically. And it's uncomfortable and you're going to fight yourself with it because you've had the lies that you've based your life on in the past, that you're unworthy because somebody else said so or didn't give you affection or didn't give you time or actively told you that you weren't valuable. But mind games have been a huge part. But there's also me proving it to myself, right? How do I prove that I'm worthy to myself? Well, when I feel myself being dysregulated and twitchy and uncomfortable, instead of me doing what my twitchy, uncomfortable self wants me to do, which is escape, unless I can't handle it, because do what you can handle when you can handle it, okay? And give yourself understanding for the fact that maybe today isn't the day you can do it, and that's okay. In the same way that you would do that for a friend, okay? But when you can, and you feel twitchy or whatever, I sit with myself in it. I ask myself, why? What are they afraid of? Usually it's a part of myself that feels a little stuck in some type of past trauma and I'm feeling defeated, or I feel like that part of myself is still clinging to the do, right? That part of myself is still clinging to the, I want to see tangible results. If I don't see tangible results, my body is freaking out because where's your worth? You need to prove this, right? So I sit with myself with it in the uncomfortable, and I'm proving to myself, you're worth compassion. You're worth grace. You're worth someone being with you even when it costs them. You're worth that love. You're worth that care. When I find myself feeling bodily tired and drained, and I don't have a tangible reason, instead of doing what I've done in the past years, which is, buck up, let's do it anyway kind of thing, I make space for myself. I cancel plans because I don't feel up to them, even though I don't want to, because I know that my body needs something different. I had plans with my best friend today, but my body was acting up. No particular reason, no particular rhyme. And I laid out to my best friend, and in the same way that I would do for them and love them, they reciprocated that back. Why don't we reschedule? You need to take care of you. And obviously right now your body's not functioning that well. We don't need to push it that far, right? But I took up the space, and I loved myself to put myself out there, because I knew my best friend and how they would respond. I knew that they would give me compassion and grace. I knew that they'd have understanding, and that we could reschedule, and it wouldn't be the end of the world, even though I want to see them. They're amazing, fantastic, but it isn't what is needed today. What I need today is just to be. What I needed today was to recenter. What I needed today was to sit with myself. Part of that sitting with myself, part of that thing that like reinfuses myself, is being able to connect, to offer up, and like love other people where they are, right? How do I have energy to do this? Because I have found that when I love and care for other people, I can create that same like energy fuel back to myself, right? So this is not draining for me, because I'm able to help in some tiny way, hopefully. But tangible things. It's me showing myself, showing up, even when it's uncomfortable. I made myself get dressed, and I didn't want to. I made myself, at the time, start this process, even though I didn't necessarily want to, because I knew once I started it, me being able to connect, me being able to offer vulnerably that I don't, where I am, what I've done, that I might possibly help someone else who's like me, it helps me. I love to love people. And I don't have the mental and emotional capacity to do this right now with an individual person taking on their spirit. But I can push out the grace and love and compassion I'm trying to give to myself, and that energy to you for when you get to read it. And I won't be receiving your particular energy at the time, but this is something I can offer, right? And it's something that I know that I respond well to for myself too. Learning to be is this dance that you don't know the moves to, and as such you can feel uncomfortable and you can feel out of place, but it also can be an adventure with yourself. You could try things on and figure out, no, those shoes don't fit, those steps don't feel right. I wish in so many ways that healing was 1 + 1 = 2, right? It'd be pleasant. It'd be this beautiful, clean, crisp world of math, of control. And I think that's the point of why it isn't. If it was controlled, if it was 1 + 1 = 2, it'd become this default. And this thrive that you want isn't default. It's active choices. It's active presence. It's being in the moment and contending with yourself and allowing what is. And so as much as I want it to be 1 + 1 = 2, because if I could give you this formula of do this and then get this, it might help people. But it's honestly much more like having a box or a bag of hand-me-downs and having to try on and see what might possibly work. And sometimes it might work for a little while, whatever that piece of clothing is, but then it doesn't, and you gotta pass it on. Let it go. There were times and places in the past that me constantly striving and faking till I make it, it was something that actually helped me in a season. Putting on the face and making myself, even when I didn't feel like it, get physically active or listen to something that was encouraging. It was something that I did the hustle, right? And there was a time and a place where that was helpful for me. Why? I was so dysregulated, there was no way that I could try to be. I was still in the mindset of do. And I still had to strive at do because there was no way that I could let go in that way. And it's a beautiful journey to see that past and see it doesn't serve me now to hustle. It doesn't serve me now to constantly strive in that way. It doesn't serve me now to hit my head against the wall and like constantly, I'm gonna grab. That doesn't serve me now. But it did serve me then, and there's no denigration to my past self that it needed that. That would be like being mad at a baby for crawling instead of immediately going to walk. It doesn't make sense. I couldn't always give myself grace, but I can now offer myself grace most of the time. And I have enough grace and enough like failures and enough past that I can look back on that I have a hard time not just offering grace to most people around me, but I didn't always. Oh man, there were so many times in the past, like 2 years ago, I had so many judgments on other people's process because you're not here yet. You're not here yet. How ridiculous. But it was a part of the process. And you have your process. It's going to be bumpy. It's going to be weird. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be trying on things, but it's going to be sitting with yourself and giving yourself grace when you can, and giving yourself grace for when you can't give yourself grace. It's this journey of doing the unthinkable, releasing control of how you think things should go, releasing the results for the actions you're taking, releasing the future to just stare at your feet in the now, releasing the dreams that you once had, mourning the life that you thought you would have, accepting the life that you do. That doesn't always mean accepting, does not always mean liking, but it does mean acknowledging. It does mean looking and seeing and not playing shoulda, woulda, coulda games. It's that release. It's hard. And it's not a one-off. It's moment to moment. Sometimes you'll do it, sometimes you won't be able to. Sometimes you'll be able to do it more in different ways. Today, I have a challenge for you. Find a way to take a couple seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever it can be, and try to be in the moment. Whether that's going outside and looking very, very specifically at the details of some type of object. Or if you're inside, looking at some type of detailed object and really paying attention, like looking at the cover of a book and not just looking at the elements, but looking at like the film, the shiny sealant film on the outside of the cover, or the way that the light bounces off of it. Like really, really look at all the aspects. Whether it's that, or it's you feel yourself like clenchy and like picky and like dysregulated, and just like taking a deep breath and sitting with yourself in it, in that uncomfortable. Not trying to explain it away, not trying to like tell it to go away, but just like be with yourself in that goopy swamp-like mess. Or if it's eating a sour candy and really paying attention to how your mouth is reacting to it. How these salivatory glands are like going crazy. Or maybe it's walking outside barefoot and really feeling how your feet feel on the ground, whether it's the concrete or your carpet in your bedroom. Just like getting whatever it looks like. But I challenge you to choose a small way to try to be. I have found the more that I can choose those small moments in whatever way possible I can, the more I do that there that I want. It's that mystical over there. If I get there, arrive there. What I'm wanting is a feeling. I'm wanting home. I'm wanting to feel safe. I'm wanting to feel content. I'm wanting to feel peace. I'm wanting to feel loved. That there, I'm wanting to feel worthy. I'm wanting to feel achieved. The there that I want isn't about the actual location. It's about the feelings that that location I think will give me. It's about the feelings that location will give me. But I have found the more that I embrace this be, just 10 seconds, 2 seconds, tiny pockets of choosing to try to be, the more I do that, the feelings that I want to get from arriving over in that place over there, I get to inhabitate them here. That thrive that I think exists on the other side of all of these actions that I just are out of reach, I get them now. That contentment, that peace, that being able to love myself, that feeling achieved, worthy, lovable. It isn't there that you want. It isn't out of your reach to have those feelings. I know it feels like it, but it isn't. It isn't, I promise you. As a person who continuously, gap theory, constantly focusing on what I didn't have, constantly vying for this over there to feel, if I can have peace and I can have joy and I can have contentment and my life doesn't actively look that different from 4 years ago, tangibly from the outside, if you're describing my life, it looks so much the same. If I can get that through making small choices in and out of learning how to be with myself, learning how to choose to be in this moment, of learning how to, when I can and how I can, give myself grace. If I can achieve that there feeling that I'm wanting here, you can too. You're worth that adventure, that uncomfortable, that awkward. If you want particular help, if you want particular questions you have, if you want ideas, the whole point, all of the existence that I have on social media, the entire point of everything I create is an effort to offer and connect. If you have something particular, I have all the joy in the world of holding your hand and walking you through it, because I wanted that and I didn't see it. This journey can make you feel isolated, can make you feel alone, can make you feel defeated, and it's why so many people give up. If it was 1 to 1 to 2, 1 plus 1 equals 2, a lot more people would do it. If it was so easy and so natural and so default, more people would do it. It's so amazing, it's so rewarding, but it is a constant turning online. It is a constant level, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, healing is so draining. It's so deafeningly loud and agitating and like grating against everything because you're undoing all of these defaults. It's okay to feel exhausted. It's okay to feel hyper emotional for no apparent reason. It's okay if you're getting sick a lot. It's okay if you feel snappish. It's okay. It's okay. Okay doesn't mean you have to like it. It's okay because it is. It's okay because it's a part of your process. It's okay because we've all been there. I'm here because I've been there. I'm here because I want to help you there. You're not alone.